Welcome. This will be the first of, I hope, many of these kinds of presentations I will make. I call this presentation a Nietzschean look of Magic the Gathering. Basically, I will try to talk about Magic the Gathering cards, lore, and characters to you guys, looking at it through the lens of Nietzsche's ideas. Now, you clicked on this video because maybe you're a smart person and you enjoy long form of content. And maybe you guys just want to avoid brain rot. I hope this video can provide you with that satisfaction. Or maybe B, you need a video to make you sleep. Well, you are also in the right place because apparently people fall asleep after listening to me for like 5 to 10 minutes blubber about nonsensical things like this topic right now. Or maybe C, you are really a smart person, you are here and you saw the name Nietzsche and you're like, bro, this guy's gonna make a lot of mistakes. I'm gonna listen and I'm gonna clip him and share all the mistakes he made online. Well, whatever your reason is, welcome. Please do not forget to click the subscribe button if you find this video informative or at least entertaining. I have a feeling this will not be that entertaining since it's information heavy. This is gonna be like a lecture. This is gonna be like those lectures from university days. By the way, I am Moshi Moshi Dani, and I make YouTube Shorts Magic the Gathering lore videos. That's my shtick. My normal uploads are short videos about the lores of Magic the Gathering cards that I own. Go please check the shorts tab of this channel. I already have a couple of good short videos there. I'm proud of them. I really love the work I do there. And I'm pretty sure you guys will also love the stories there. So go check it out. And then maybe from time to time in the future, I will upload presentations like this one. I need to defend myself first. The PowerPoint format versus the video essay storytelling format. YouTube is already filled with video essay style of storytelling. But few present Magic the Gathering in this manner, in this style, in this lecture style. So there was a choice for me. Join the herd and do a story video essay style and drown in the noise. Or make a long lecture style presentation and hope for the best, just like us hoping during the time when we were sitting down trying to understand the lectures of our university professor. My greed wants video essay style, but also my ego wants the boring lecture. Not because it's easy, but like I said, there's very few of this here in YouTube. And I want to be one of them who makes this kind of style presentation in YouTube. Like there's already a bunch of this online. It's hard to compete with those videos. They're much more high quality than what I imagined this presentation should look like as a video essay style of storytelling. Now, a little about me. I was a young man when I was introduced to Friedrich Nietzsche, the same time when I lost my dad. I am not saying Nietzsche became like a father figure to me. No. What I'm trying to say here is Nietzsche's works were like great distractions for me. Distractions during the time when I was trying to figure out life and when I was going through a hard time. And whether these distractions are good or bad, it depends on other people's judgments. But since I read them many years ago, they're still in my head. I still remember some of them. Now, a little bit about Nietzsche. Pretty sure you guys already know who Nietzsche is, alright? So no need for me to like tell a background story about this guy. But just in case you are here and you don't know who Nietzsche is, you're only here for the Magic the Gathering, well, Nietzsche is well known for saying this line here, God is dead, which got him in a lot of trouble. Anyway, yeah, in this lesson, I will try to look at Magic the Gathering cards and lore through Nietzsche's ideas. 6 ideas to be exact. And the 6 ideas are Apollonian and Dionysian, slave morality and master morality, eternal recurrence, will to power, sorry, that should be will to power, God is dead, and then Ubermensch. Each one are chapters of this presentation. Now, me and Magic the Gathering, I need to admit this first. I just got back to Magic the Gathering last year, 2025. After almost 22 years away from MTG, the Lord of the Rings set actually pulled me back in. I really thought the Lord of the Rings Magic the Gathering cards are beautiful. They're sweet. They're gorgeous. That's why I started buying packs and collecting the important characters of the story. And then later, I discovered Innistrاد's plane. I started reading about Innistrad. And though I don't watch horror movies anymore, I really enjoy Innistrad's world and the characters too. And then finally, I discovered Mystery Booster 2. When I started buying this, I realized this is my gateway to the cards I missed while I was away from MTG. So these are the three main products I am buying: The Lord of the Rings, Mystery Booster 2, and then Innistrad, anything about Innistrad. And of course, during my free spare time, I try to read about my cards. I tried to read about the lore, I tried to know about the art, I tried to know a little bit about the artist, and so on. But basically, I read about the cards. And from reading them, I realized something. Bro, the stories here are so Nietzschean. Thus, this presentation is born. Alright, now a quick note before I start. This presentation does not identify who is or what is good or evil. Characters or lore examples mentioned here might be good, might be bad, or might be anti-hero in their planes. But Nietzsche's ideas used here in this presentation do not point to who or what is good or evil. Even though you, my listener, your moral compass says this character is good, that character is bad, that's not my goal here, or that's not what I'm trying to do here. And I hope that's clear. Alright, so with that out of the way, that long introduction out of the way, let's start with part 1. The Apollonian and Dionysian thinking in Magic the Gathering. Now, before anything else, in this part, I will focus mostly on the colors of Magic the Gathering and the two color combinations of Magic the Gathering, as you guys will see later. For now, let me introduce the ideas to you guys. According to Nietzsche, Apollonian and Dionysian thinking are two opposing forces in human life and art. So, here you go. You have Apollonian, Apollo. You have Dionysian, Dionysus. So for the Apollonian thinking, this thinking represents order, logic, self-control, and clarity. It values structure, reason, and calm beauty, like sculpture or careful painting. So that's the characteristic for Apollonian thinking. While for Dionysian thinking, it represents chaos, emotion, passion, instinct, and loss of control. It is connected to music, intoxication, creativity, and raw human feeling. In MTG terms, the best characters I can use to represent Apollonian and Dionysian, I think, are Teferi for Apollonian, and then Chandra for Dionysian. Reading about these guys here, especially during the height of their influence and power. Teferi manifests Apollonian thinking. Chandra manifests Dionysian thinking. Okay, so I hope that introduction is clear. Let's move on. Where else have I seen these characteristics? This one here. Alright, for the non-Magic players out there, each color of mana in Magic the Gathering has their own assigned characteristic, as you guys can see here. Or characteristics, rather. Okay, so we can use said characteristics to assign what kind of Nietzschean thinking the colors of Magic the Gathering have. Now, in general, if we will check the back of an MTG card, the assigning of Apollonian and Dionysian thinking should look something like this. But of course, to make it much more clear, let's include the characteristic of each color. Now, for white color, white is known for order, law, and peace. That is very Apollonian thinking. For the blue color, they are known for intellect, control, and omniscience. Bro, that is very, very Apollonian. Black color is known for selfishness, power, and being ambitious. That's very Dionysian. And I guess red is very Dionysian. Bro, the red itself is very Dionysian, the color, I mean. And then finally, green. I decided to assign green Dionysian thinking simply because it has instinct as a main characteristic. Instinct, really, it's not about being intellectual. It's not really about following what order is, rather. Instinct, mostly about natural, something inside that we feel like what is right, what is good, just follow it. So for green color, I assign Dionysian for it. Okay, so for the five colors of Magic the Gathering, these are the Nietzschean thinkings for each of them. But let's expand this further. Let's try to check the Nietzschean thinking for each color combination, popular color combination, rather the 10 guilds of Ravnica. Now, for the sake of brevity, I will not include here in this presentation 3 color combination or 4 color combination. I will only use the 2 color combinations. Nietzsche believed a healthy culture needs both way of thinking. If you guys want to be healthy in terms of personality, maybe you need to have both Apollonian and Dionysian thinking in you. In MTG terms, it's quite fine to have Azor characteristic and Rakdos characteristic in you. If you want to be a great personality at least. Okay, now, the 10 color combinations. Here we go. Screenshot I stole online. You have the 10 color combinations, and of course, the names for each color combination, which represents the guilds. So I'm gonna divide this into 2. The upper part would be the neighboring colors, and then below would be the opposing colors. Now, following these color combinations here, the guilds should have this Nietzschean combination. For Azorius, since it's white and blue, both Apollonian. For Dimir, since it's blue and black, it's Apollonian Dionysian. Rakdos, it's black and red, that would be Dionysian. Gruul, red and green, Dionysian also. And then Celestia, green and white, that would be Dionysian and Apollonian. So that goes for the neighboring colors. What about the opposing colors? How would their Nietzschean thinking look? For Orzhov, white and black, Apollonian Dionysian. For Izet, blue and red, that would be Apollonian Dionysian. Golgari, my favorite, that would be black and green, Dionysian. Boros, white and red, that would be Apollonian Dionysian. And finally, Simic, blue and green, Apollonian and Dionysian. So there you go. The Nietzschean color combination for each guild that is presented here. But of course, I'm not gonna leave it there. I'm gonna point to some obvious things which hopefully will help you as a player, or maybe as a fan, or maybe as a nerd like me. I hope you find these things interesting. So, basing on my subjective observation, I want you to notice that there are 3 pure Nietzschean color combination in the neighboring colors. That would be Azorius, Rakdos, and Gruul. And then you have two color Nietzschean combinations here. That would be Dimir and then Celestia. For the opposing colors, there's only one pure Nietzschean color here. That would be Golgari. That's Dionysian, as you guys can see. The other 4, a combination. Orzhov, Izet, Boros, and Simic are all Apollonian and Dionysian. But wait, if we look at this picture, wholly, there's only one Apollonian. There's one style or one deck or one build that will focus on control, law. I guess you can say counters. Apollonian. That would be Azorius. And then among the 10, there's 3 pure Dionysian. This is where you guys can experience the explosive decks. And then the remaining 6 are a combination of Apollonian and Dionysian. Now, a little bit about me. After being away from MTG for so many years, the only color combo among the 10 that really made me say, I love this deck and I want to keep running this deck is Golgari. I have been using Golgari in MTG Arena to great effect, at least for me. Golgari mirrors Dionysian, which somewhat also mirrors me as a player or mirrors how I built my deck. When we are given the power to design the tools that we use in our game, the characters that we play in our game, or the deck we use in our game, we apply our personality on it. So, me, quite honestly, I did apply a little bit of myself in my Golgari deck in MTG Arena. I did try strong control, strong power, strong, how do you call it? Ganging up of characters, creatures rather, creature spells in the Azorius deck. And it is quite powerful if you think about it. But this felt off for me. By off, I mean, it wasn't fun to play. Azorius deck was not fun to play for me. I did try Rakdos in Gruul also, but really, that one color combination that I really like playing is black and green. Black because it makes me a little bit Machiavellian. I'm not a bad person, but like in black you can be cunning, all right? You have to be cunning, and I really enjoy that. And you're not afraid to sacrifice your creatures for a win. I really enjoy that. And then for green, oh my god, green. All I can say is its power. So Golgari, very enjoyable for me. Now, is there like a practical application for this? Maybe. Basing from what I said earlier, like about us applying our personality to the uh, tools or the characters or the decks we play in our game. Maybe this also reflects who the opponents are if you're playing against another person. Maybe they are applying their personality in their deck. Maybe from their deck, we will understand a little bit about who the person is we are playing against. And I'm not trying to suggest anything bad here. Maybe by knowing this, we can use that information to win against our opponent, even if we are not quite familiar with the cards they are playing. Like maybe we can trash talk them. Kidding, I'm kidding. Don't do that. Don't bad manner your opponent. But like, yeah, you get the point. Maybe you guys can find a practical application for this information I'm showing you here right now. All I can think about is trash talk, using this to tilt your opponent, and then maybe they will lose focus, and instead of playing the game, they will just quit. They will just scoop and leave because you're being an ass. All right. Next, this part of the presentation is I want to show you the guilds and the founders, and that the founders also showed embodies rather the Apollonian Dionysian characteristics I assigned to each guild. So let's say, for example, for Azorius, white and blue, the founder Azor. Follow the color, please. Pink for Apollonian, yellow for Dionysian. For Azor the First, founder of Azorius, these are his characteristics. From my readings, the Great Sphinx believes in rationality over emotion, order over disorder, and absolute faith and in law. So Azorius really is Apollonian, all through and through. Second, Dimir, founded by Zadek. Zadek is also known as the Lord of Secrets. Now, checking his characteristics, as you guys can see, a combination of Apollonian and Dionysian. Zadok, also known as the Lord of Secrets, is defined by covert domination through knowledge, deception, and psychological control. Zadok rules invisibly by shaping what others do not know. Bro, that's so Apollonian, at the same time, so Dionysian. Third, the Guild of Rakdos, or Cult of Rakdos. Of course, the founder is Rakdos, the demon. The demon Rakdos embodies anarchic indulgence. He glorifies pain, spectacle, excess, and freedom. Rakdos rejects order, morality, restraint, and long-term purpose entirely. That last part of the sentence is Apollonian, and Rakdos hates it. So, Rakdos as a guild being Dionysian, It just fits it. Next color. Next color combination. Gruel by Room, aka a clan which is not one. Because this is, I think, if I'm not mistaken, the lore, there's like a bunch of clans under Gruel. And the founder is always absent. I tried looking for information about the founder, but the name that always comes out is Borborygmos. He stood as the guild leader when the founder is absent. So let's check the characteristic of Borborygmos. Borborygmos acted as the guild leader. He is characterized as embodying primal rage, freedom, valuing instinct, and destruction. Borborygmos adheres to survival over civilization, law, planning, and imposed order. Borborygmos doesn't like the characteristics from Apollonian. He likes survival, which is very Dionysian. So, Gruel, being Dionysian, it just works. And last, for the neighboring colors, Celestia. Matt Celestia, the founder. Matt Celestia embodies collective harmony, spiritual unity, growth and tradition, subsuming individuality into communal purpose, peace and natural order, and of course, balance. All characteristics a mixture of Dionysian and Apollonian thinking. So it just fits that Celestia has this combination. Okay, let's check the opposing colors. For Orzhov, Orzhov actually is established by a group. So what we will check here would be the characteristic of the group. Established not by a single person, but by a collective, powerful, wealthy families. I think you need to be Apollonian to be wealthy. Led by the ghostly council known as the Obzedat. Orzhov embodies ruthless hierarchy. That's very Apollonian. Debt, faith exploited for profit. Exploitation, I think, needs to be Dionysian. Institutional greed, control through obligation, contracts, ghost, and eternal indebtedness, and of course, power. All of them a combination of Apollonian and Dionysian. It fits Orzhov, the guild. Second, Izzet by Niv Mizzet. Niv Mizzet's characteristics. Niv Mizzet embodies manic genius, relentless curiosity, experimental brilliance, intellectual arrogance, explosive creativity, and reckless pursuit of knowledge without restraint or caution. Basically, a mixture of Apollonian and Dionysian thinking. Also, I'm pretty sure you are familiar who Niv Mizzet is and his... Wait, is this worm his? Anyway, I'm pretty sure you're familiar with Niv Mizzet. So if you know the story, then you will understand that this works. This works for Izzet. Next, Golgari, my favorite, by Svogtir. Svogtir embodies decay, inevitability, and ruthless survival, mastering death, wrath, and rebirth, valuing power through cycles of life and eternal. Very, very Dionysian. Golgari. Next, Boros, red and white. The founder is Archangel Razzia. And if we check the characteristic, Archangel Razzia actually has the most obvious characteristic that would explain the Apollonian and Dionysian thinking. Razzia, a militant, flame sword-wielding archangel capable of using flame. And we already established that red is Dionysius. And light. White. And we already established that white, light, is Apollonian. And Razzia fervently and firmly believes in harmonious coexistence in Ravnica, even if lives were lost and blood was shed in achieving these objectives. So there you go. This works for the Boros Guild. And finally, for Simic. Now for Simic, I couldn't find the founder. Two names always come up every time I read about Simic Guild, Momir Vig and then Sigana. Both stood as guild founders, and both embodies Apollonian and Dionysian thinking. Alright, so there we go. Those are the Nietzschean thinking for the 10 guilds of Ravnica. And again, going back, if we want to simplify everything, look at the back of a magic card, and the Nietzschean thinking should look something like this. Blue and white Apollonian, green, red, and black Dionysian. Just a thought before I end this part of the lecture. One can say that I was just doing something close to the effect of reading a horoscope with this Apollonian and Dionysian thing applied to Magic the Gathering. And maybe I am. But remember, the colors of MTG have been assigned their own set of characteristics by the game makers and its developers. And cards were created from those characteristics, from each colors of Magic. And then we also apply, and I really strongly believe in this. We inject our personality in the deck and our playstyle. So I think it's safe to assume that by playing the game, following the colors you like, playing the cards you love, you are somewhat showing your side of Dionysian or Apollonian. By how much percent? That you only know. Alright, so that does it for part 1. We are done with the first lecture of the series of Magic the Gathering, looking at Magic the Gathering through the lens of Nietzsche. If you, the students, planeswalkers, and mages have any questions, please feel free to write them in the comment section below. Also, if you enjoyed this lesson, please don't forget to click like, share, and maybe even, hopefully, I have earned your subscription. Please do click the subscribe button. Again, my channel is mainly making short videos and Magic the Gathering card lore videos. Go check the short tabs section of my channel. You guys will find a bunch of good lore videos there. For now, I'm gonna end the lecture here. The second lectures will be uploaded within this week or maybe the next, but yeah, I will upload those episodes once I finish doing the voiceover recording for them. Alright, my friends. Thank you for listening. Class is over. See you in the next session.